He's still smiling though. That's good. Keep smiling. Keep smiling.
Still, you gotta smile.
You have to.
You have to be an optimistic person in the job that I do. As you meet people typically at a low point in their life. I have no apology.
And I'm very blessed that I got to meet him a few years ago, and he's really expanded my horizon. You know, I've always considered myself a global citizen of the world and was always compassionate and considered myself a humanitarian, but this brings it to a different level. And his encouragement and his outreach and his network is such that is way beyond my local community and even beyond my state, beyond the nation, as I said, and international. So whether it's promoting world yoga, world peace, interfaith dialogue, you know, we talk about the greatness of faith, but we all know faith can gear in different directions, and we look at the history of our world and how many, God forbid, conflicts and trauma and harm in the name of peace, in the name of religion, in the name of whatever God we preach. So, you know, I pay tribute to Guru, and I think that his work is really not only commendable, but really an initiation of something that, in my opinion, needs to go on. So when he calls on my office and myself and my staff to get involved in an issue, I know it's a goodwill, I know it's a good thing, and it's a tribute to his commitment and his dedication. So we turn the floor to our host and our friend and our guru, Guru Gariji.
Samasta Sugino Bhavantu Loga Samasta Sugino Bhavantu Loga Samasta Sugino Bhavantu Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste everyone. It is my great pleasure and honor to join and celebrate India's 76th Independence Day celebration and the 75th anniversary of the Independence year. So we had a beautiful 40th annual parade in New York City one day before. We walked on the street. We celebrate with over 500,000 people. Even American people, European people, South Americans all became as a one family under God. I was so thrilled. I want to thank our Honorable Assemblyman Dr. Nader Sayegh Esquire, supporting me and my friends and our organization to flourish in this state. I had to acknowledge all the staff members, those who are supporting us for years. I met Assemblyman in 2008 through Chandra. Chandra is standing in the back. She's one of the follower of Mother Amrita in the Mai. Yeah, we always meet at the Amma's program. And Harry Singh, one of my old friend from India. Old and gold. And see my friends here, Audrey, Girambali, Yogi, and Sabidaji, my new friend, and all other members here, elected officials. Yeah, so wonderful to join and celebrate Mother India's Independence Day. I remember the stories from my parents. They used to be in the freedom fighting movement. My mother was quite young, you know. Grandparents were very active in the freedom fight. Because I am the person enjoying that freedom. They never had the freedom. They went through really hard time. I had to acknowledge Swami Bua. He was a real forefront fighter with Gandhi. Yeah. That's a shell I blow here. It's a great blessing for me to blowing his shell, and I had to mention the shawl I always carry from Rabbi Galbaman, who was a Holocaust survivor. So I look forward to see new generation bringing the spirit of the older generation. I am so happy our Guru Junior is sitting here and celebrating with us. He's only 5 years old. I remember my young age, we used to go with the different programs, with holding my mom and dad and learn things. So that's why I'm sitting here. Otherwise, I won't be here. I may end up in a jail with all the drugs and all the stuff. I'm so happy parents gave wonderful guidance. I am so happy and blessed. Our masters gave a wonderful guidance and great friends. Wherever I go, I meet somebody spiritual and more open-minded. That boosts my activities. Or sometimes people say you had to go with only same like-minded people. Sometimes I go with other people too because they need help. So we had to take difficult time from them and give good time to them. Then they will change it. So we need everybody under one roof. So that's the culture of India, Vasudeva Kudumbam. Everything under one roof. We are one family. The prayer I did, that's a Loga Samsta Suvina Bhavandu, may peace prevail on the entire universe. Thousands of years back, they made this prayer before religion started. Hindu religion came from the indigenous tradition. It was not a Hindu religion in India at all. That is because of Adi Shankaracharya. Now all other religions are new. Maybe 5,000 years we can go. But indigenous are older. But we neglect all the freedom of indigenous people and we manipulate. Like we are taking all the oil from the earth, make the plastic and destroy the nature. That's a human. Only human being will do like this. Destruction, destruction, destruction. Wherever we go, greediness will make destruction there. So we had to change the mentality of people. I hope this year General Assembly will make some changes at the UN. Yesterday we were having a discussion about UN. Sometimes I get tired. I want to have a fast action because our life is very short. First breath to the last breath. That's maybe 100 years, 120 years, 30, 140. Not like Adam and Eve, like over 900 years. We don't have that type of life. So we have to care about our fellow beings, animals and plants. So we try to promote our spiritual culture. I won't say a religious culture, spiritual culture, a globalized or a universal spiritual culture needed for the world. I was telling my brother, he was showing the sustainable development goals. I said, look, they had to emphasize spirituality first. Spirituality is not about a symbol of a religion. It is totally beyond all of this stuff. So when that comes under the goals, everything will fall in order. So I hope the world will change very soon. I never say children are future, they are the live people. Don't put aside, they should stand with us and grow with us. When children see elders are doing right things, they learn it, they pick it, then practice and they teach. So everybody has to learn, practice and teach. That's a Gurukula system. Otherwise, we cannot call a person a guru or anything. We have to preach and teach and practice it, right? So I'm so happy our assemblyman is hosting this, our memorable day to celebrate in his own office. That shows how much he cares about us. Not only towards Indians, any other groups, any ethnic group, he's there. I know him last 14 years. He said few years, 14 years. Yeah. I always observe he is with people, caring about children, education, health, and community activities. When he mentioned about the sports, I was a cricketer in my college and school. You know, I used to get 4 wickets in 6 balls.
Oh my God,
That's the way I was.
we need someone like you in our team actually.
I was in sports 25 years.
To coaching, huh?
Yes.
I was in sports 25 years. I used to get up 4 o'clock, do some yoga, and go for 5 miles running and go to practice. This is the way I was. So I don't have to worry about how much mark I get. Any college, they call me, can you come to our college? First pick is mine, not the merit. Because then representing the school and college and the university, I was so enjoyed my time. I never had a competition with another student. My mom used to say, you compete with yourself. Each time you have to do better. Don't fight with anybody. I never had a fight in the ground, never had. So maybe that spirit brought me in different ways. So when I came to New York, I don't know the language. I don't know the culture, even though I had some students in India. So I had to start from zero, balance. Financially or any other method. Start from zero. Now I'm the hero.
I like that. Well said.
So I'm going to make a magazine to show how my over 50 years went through, my life from zero to hero. So that will motivate some young people.
Yes.
Not going around and end up in bad company, educate, upgrade themselves, that is needed. So we always see some problems around the globe. Doesn't matter, never give up, never give up, never give up. That's the path I kept it, even if it's 1 person or 1,000 people, fine. We just go and do the work. That is commitment. In the morning we are talking, commitment is needed. When you serve the community as a servant, the leadership is there. Jesus used to say, be the servant of servants. So I follow his teaching, even though I am from Hindu mother and the Christian father, but we are the first Christians in India.
Interesting.
I am proud of that.
Wow.
That when Saint Thomas the Apostle came to India, he converted 12 Brahmin families. That's my father's side, one family. Yeah. So we have the lineage. Forget about the lineage. Main thing is I am so happy my parents had an inter-caste marriage. And they in the religious marriage, right? They had really hard time. I am happy they had a hard time. So that brings more spirituality in their life. Because of that, I born. I'm proud of it. I'm so proud of all of you. You came here having a wonderful round table to celebrate this great India's Day.
Well, we're happy you were born. We're happy you came into our life. And as we said, whenever you bring people together, and you promote dialogue and you communicate, it really promotes more awareness. And we all know the more people are aware, the more knowledge is expressed and expanded, the more informed people become. And the more you become informed, the more you learn how to respect differences, the more you learn how to acknowledge the diversity that exists in our world. And God knows there's a lot of negative forces that cause polarization. We in the United States, and I'm sure around the world, have witnessed and do witness, even till today, so much polarization that even divides people to the point where there's hate. And when it gets to the point where there's hate, that's really beyond the norm. People can disagree and people can have differences. And I often say, hey, speak your say, have a voice, have an opinion. It's fine. But respect everybody else's opinion and respect people's differences. And that's what this is all about. When the guru and others that get involved, as we have today in this roundtable discussion, you realize by listening to each other, listening to ourselves, who each person is. And everybody brings to the table a different flavor, a different experience. Each and every one of us has a specialty, has a skill, has a special standard we believe in. And when people say, well, what does getting people together do, it really allows us to learn from each other and learn as we have today the many different issues, the many concerns, the many causes that impact us as individuals, as a people, as a community, as a nation, and really as a world. When people begin to realize the urgency and the importance of global concerns, we never were taught years ago to think about the needs of Mother Earth or the climate or, keeping the air and the water and everything else pure and clean. We never realized that. Who knew about emission control years ago? So now slowly that type of discussion, and for everyone who's listening to this round forum, the hope is they realize they got to be more broad-minded. They got to think more clearly. They got to realize, as we all say, we're all global citizens of the world. So today is really another step, Guru, in moving in that direction. What I wanted today, to recognize.
They have message to say.
Of course.
Yeah. I'll introduce them. I have some write-up.
All right.
So we have two special speakers today. I'll go with the Reverend Audrey Kitagawa, JD. She's a president and founder of the International Academy for Multicultural Cooperation, president of the Light of Awareness International Spiritual Family, and the former advisor to the Office of the Special Representative of the Secretary General of Children and Armed Conflict at the United Nations. She is the member of the Advisory Council of the G20 Interfaith Forum, chair of the Anti-Racism Initiative, and co-chair of the Gender Equality Working Group of the IF20. She is a United Nations representative for the United Religious Initiative, and ambassador of Religious for Peace International, and chair emerita of the NGO Committee of Spirituality, Values, and Global Concerns in New York. She has been installed into the royal family as a Nekoso Hema, am I correcting pronouncing right? Of Ajiamanti in Ghana, West Africa, and has a school which she helped to build, named after her in her African name, the Nana Ode Anyankobea Junior Secondary School. She is a recipient of the medal Pride of Eurasia and a diploma from the Republic of Kazakhstan Ministry of Education and Science, Ellen. Gumilyo Eurasian National University for her outstanding contribution to the development of spiritual culture and education in Eurasia. She is a recipient of the Spirit of the UN Award, which is given to outstanding individuals who has demonstrated the vision and spirit of the United Nations as expressed through the UN Charter and the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. She was conferred as an honorary interfaith minister degree by the New Seminary. Overall, I want to say, over 5 years, she is supporting value communities, events, and meetings with a full heart. I forget all other bios because this is the thing I love it. When people serve with love and care, that is Reverend Odi Kitagawa. Flourish for it.
Thank you so much, Guru Dilip Ji, for this privilege and opportunity to be with all of you today, and of course the Honorable Dr. Nader Sayegh for convening all of us in your beautiful offices in your beautiful city of Yonkers. And this is a wonderful opportunity to be able to express what India represents in the celebration of its anniversary for independence. And we have talked about the many, many ways in which people serve. And when we talk about the history of India, it is extremely complex. But it is a story of great sacrifice in the midst of great hardship. And of course, Guru Dilip Ji himself has spoken about his parents being freedom fighters. And so we actually stand on tall shoulders that have brought us to where we are today. And of course, we cannot talk about India without mentioning Mahatma Gandhi and the great sacrifice that he showed in being able to express two very, very deep spiritual values and teachings. And in his movement for nonviolent civil disobedience, which Dr. Martin Luther King studied and followed in his own civil rights movement in the United States, is the aspect of ahimsa, nonviolence. And through that powerful movement, to be able to show that tremendous political, social, cultural transformations can take place through nonviolence. And so this is something that we all have to keep our focus on, especially in the highly politicized world that we live in today and the polarizations that seem to express its own complexities that can bring anybody, down into the mires of depression. And yet we have to remember that we all have a duty and responsibility to commit ourselves to those causes that we fully understand to make humanity a better place. And so also the second aspect of his great teachings in the movement that ultimately freed India of its colonial history is satyagraha, which is truthfulness. And as we see today, so much misinformation, so many stories that are difficult to ascertain whether they're truthful or fictionalized or conjured up, that in the world of conscience, we know in our hearts what is the right moral compass to follow, because we were all born with conscience, and we must always do the right thing and take the high road, no matter what the immediacy of gain and benefit may be, whether in the economic sense, but every action that we undertake should be the expression of who we really are as deeply spiritual beings, that where we are is the holy ground in whatsoever country, but the holy ground is our teaching ground to be able to be the expressions of loving thought, loving speech, and loving action that together gives life deep meaning and purpose, and is the challenge that is posed to each and every one of us as individuals and as global citizens, and that is to be able to practice and implement and to ultimately have the mastery of the self. And so Mahatma Gandhi himself practiced what he preached, and ultimately from being an attorney, I'm an attorney, you're an attorney, so to wearing a simple dhoti cloth and renouncing many of the benefits of being a professional afforded to him to be able to fully commit himself to the principles of nonviolence and truthfulness and to live the way. And while I know Dilipji has expressed many times over, what can we do? So many people just talk, but we have to have action, we have to have results. And this is the immediacy of the results that we so eagerly wish to see in the advocacy that we do and the call to the cry of the dire state that our world is in. However, we may not live to see the fruits of all of the work that we believe we undertake to make this world a better place. And it brings to mind this beautiful, simple poem by Robert Frost called Stopping by the Woods on a Snowy Evening. And the words that have inspired me in that poem are these: "The woods are lovely, dark and deep, but I have promises to keep, and miles to go before I sleep, and miles to go before I sleep." So let us all remember that no matter how much we may want to have the correction of the perceived problems, all of this is the training ground for the development of our inner lives, our spiritual lives, and to be able to have the heart of compassion, love, and kindness. And Mother Teresa said, we cannot all do great things in life, but we can all do little things with great love. And so let that be our motto as well, to know that the true power in life and the deep meaning of life and the satisfaction of life is to move with that power of love that resides within the sacred chamber of all of our hearts. And so we celebrate India's complex history, the history of long suffering, but to know that in the repository of the heart of love is the desire to live free without oppression, without degradation, and to be able to work hard to bring about those positive results that will speak to the freedom and dignity of all people. And this is our celebration and remembrance of India's independence and the hardship and the sorrow, but at all times it was the love that created these great movements. So thank you so much for this.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the compassion and the brilliance of the message. And you know, we here in New York State, and especially in my role as an assemblyman, we cherish and respect and commend and acknowledge individuals that play an important role. And as we said earlier, so many of us have different hats and we represent in different ways. And you truly have exhibited not only the skills, but the commitment to the betterment of our world. And when you preach about the message of Gandhi and nonviolence and Mother Teresa, you know, it really exemplifies, you know, not only are you a student of these thoughts and these movements of goodness and happiness, but you're somebody that took the commitment to advocate and to really expand and teach. So for that, you know, I'm proud today, joined by all our friends here, to recognize your accomplishment and to celebrate your accomplishment, and ask you to please rise and come here as we present this very special New York State proclamation, New York State Assembly citation recognizing Audrey E. Kitagawa, J.D., Juris Doctor, distinguished honoree, a great citizen of not only New York, but a great citizen of the world. And to your message of goodness, to your preaching of happiness, of coexistence, and of peace and prosperity, we all join today to say, Dr. Audrey, Attorney Audrey, Humanitarian Audrey, congratulations, best wishes, and we very much appreciate all you do. Councilwomen, join us. Guru, Harry, come on.
Come on, everybody smile. There we go.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Keep it up.
Thank you so much.
Guru, you're doing the next intro.
Yeah.
Bio,
Yeah.
did an outstanding job at that.
Usually it's very hard to find all the bios. Well, so the next special speaker is Honorable Kiran Bali. She's the chair of the URI Global Council of Trustees at Large. And she's an accomplished global organizational leader and grassroots activist in interfaith cooperation, environmental justice, women's empowerment, and peace building. She serves as a global chair of the United Religious Initiative and has led a number of charitable organizations. She has her own organization too. Kiran has honored by Queen Elizabeth II with a member of the Most Excellent Order of the British Empire accolade in 2008 and has received a number of international awards for her achievements. As a UK magistrate, Kiran underpins her selfless service with the principles of social justice, compassion, and equity toward creating safer, healthier, and stronger inclusive communities. Kiran is a remarkable global organization leader and spokesperson in areas of interfaith understanding, environmental justice, women's empowerment, and peace building through selfless service and multidisciplinary approaches. Tackling climate change through advocacy and empowering grassroots communities with knowledge, she launched the Hindu Declaration on Climate Change in India and spoke at the launch of the Interfaith Declaration on Climate Change in New York. As a UK magistrate, Kiran underpins all her initiatives with the principle of social justice, compassion, and equity toward creating safer, healthier, and stronger inclusive communities. And she's a mother of how many children? Two. There's a little one is our honorable buddy, youth buddy, to celebrate with us. Without delay, floor is for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you everyone so much. It's so great to be here, just to be in this room and like you were saying, have dialogue, because dialogue is what makes us understand each other better. We can break down stereotypes, prejudices, and really come together for cooperation. That's what our world needs. On the Independence Day of India, my motherland, we commemorate all those who lost their lives in this struggle. So many people did during the partition. But at the same time, we celebrate the Indian diaspora around the world. And we have so many American superstars here today representing the Indian values that we're all brought up with. And I think it's a key moment to celebrate as well, celebrate achievement and celebrate all the things that the Indian community bring to each of the respective countries that they've adopted. As I've been growing up, as a female, it's always been a little bit more of a struggle, trying to come out and do things. And I guess that's for every female, but the culture I come from is very much about that the male is, superior, and you need to be at home and you need to just learn how to cook and wash the dishes. And why are you going out there? You don't need. Your ultimate purpose in life and aim is to get married and serve your husband. And that's the way girls like myself have been brought up. So there's no encouragement to go out and do things. But I think that also makes you stronger. It gives you more resolve to do something and to challenge those archaic, ways of thinking. So I'm really pleased that throughout this experience, I have been able to contribute something to the global community in terms of as a volunteer in selfless service. And just on the point about the cricket, I'm just currently coaching a group of women in the UK who have always wanted to play cricket, but were never allowed to go out of the house and play. And I think at some point it would be really good to twin with one of the teams in New York as well. So it's amazing how these opportunities can really strengthen our work, bring us all together and encourage activism. That's what we need. And Audrey mentioned Mahatma Gandhi. There's one quote that really stands out for me, and that is, be the change you wish to see. That is what all of us are going to be doing. Let's ensure that our actions speak louder than words. Let's practice as we preach. And let's continue to, contribute as much as we can to our global family. That's the Indian values we've been brought up with. Those are the ones we want to project into the world as we celebrate our identity. And identity indeed is very important as we move towards a beautiful global family built on cooperation and respect. So thank you so much again for having me here, and it's been a privilege to meet you and understand all the good work you're doing and that each of us are doing in our respective roles to make a difference to our communities. Thank you very much.
Can I just add something? Just talking about, you training the ladies in UK. our organization, Cricket Clubs of Westchester, we have dedicated a cup called as Shakti Cup, basically.
Wow.
So Shakti Cup, that is only a ladies tournament where all the women they come out and they play cricket.
Yeah.
Even in spite of their busy schedule, they come out and play. And this year we had the second edition of Shakti Cup, and it was a major hit. And every year we have more and more women coming out and playing cricket. Yeah. Thank you.
Fantastic. We will work together.
Definitely.
That's right. Well, when my dear friend Guru spoke to me and told me he had a special guest from London, we said, you know what, here in America, and especially here in the Assembly office, here in Yonkers, New York, we really cherish global interaction. And when we had an opportunity to have a foreign visitor for one of our fellow global citizens of the world come to New York, it really was part of this international collaboration. And when we spoke about, Kiran, your involvement, especially with global peace and world yoga and interfaith celebration, it really falls in line into what we've been preaching. And today it is most fitting, to recognize your hard work. And then when I looked at your title, Kiran Bali, MBE, first of all, is it MVP, most valuable player? What? And then I realized, I looked it up, it's member of the Order of the British Empire. So this is really a title that is given to not only worthy individuals, but individuals that really set the groundwork when it comes to leadership and involvement. So today also, as we have bestowed upon our sister Audrey, Sister Karen, we would like you to please come here and be honored on behalf of New York State. It's all right, it's all right, it's all right. It's all right, we'll get that out. On behalf of the New York State Assembly, I'd like to, with all our friends that are here, joined with our leadership in our community, our special guest, our councilwoman, and our guru, to show and bestow upon Kiran Bali, MBE, JP, this very special Distinguished Service Award from the New York State Assembly. We hope that you cherish this, and this is just a testament of the intercollaboration between not only New York, the US, and the British Empire, because it really is an empire, and the contributions of international dialogue, interfaith dialogue, world peace dialogue, and climate control. So together, let's give our nice round of applause to our honoree, Kiran Bali, MBE, JP.
Thank you, everyone.
And so on this side. Yes.
Join us now.
Yeah.
Cheers. Guys, my dear colleague, Chandra Sikdeo prepared a nice little snacks for
One more
us.
thing.
But before we do so, Guru,
So as usual, when we have a wonderful celebration, we honor some of the people from the value community. Interfaith Leadership Award. We have recipients, you and Sabidaji and Audrey all had this award. We started with the Sami Buaji. It's the Interfaith Leadership Award presented in recognition to Srimati Kiran Bali in grateful appreciation for outstanding service and dedication for the human values that bring global culture of peace and universal spirituality. The Board of Directors of the Value community humbly bestow the title Vishwashanti Padma, means Lotus of World Peace, granted on Tuesday, August 23rd, 2022 at the 76th Independence Day of India celebration in New York, USA, signed by Board of Trustees.
hey.
This side.
Come on. So we'll take a group photo.
Yeah, let's take a group photo.
As usual.
Sorry about this.
No. So let's,
leave it
let's do it, you know what? Let's all of us stand here, or this side.
This
Let's
side
move
is
the
better
chairs,
because of the light.
Yeah. So let's stand and let's get everybody here. We'll take a few nice pictures. Let's move the chairs in for now. So we'll take one back here. Someone puts the chair in. So we'll hold it.
As close as you can, please.
Chandra, come. Yeah. Just stand in the.
Stand on the chair.
Stand up.
Stand on the chair. Oh, I'm sorry.
Okay, there you go.
Okay. Just stand here.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Nader is the best. 1, 2.
Can you take in my camera too?
Yes. You want to get it?
Yeah.
Just off first and.
Just click once it will be on. Once you click it.
On, right?
Yes, it's on.
Everybody's included?
Yeah.
You're welcome. Yeah, we can't have them standing in the back so nobody can see you. Huh? Thank you so much. Let's have some refreshments, please. And everybody should exchange information, stay in touch.
She brought the Jackie for me.
Ah.
Come to the stage. So I guess it
But really appreciated your words. And, years we celebrated and we were together at the Seeds of Peace. King Abdullah and King Rania were honored this year. I even had an audience. We were getting the same thing.
Oh yeah, we are.
We gave them special presentations. They talk about the king and I, ways
I have my legislative agency over there.
Jordanian.
This is Melissa.
So, we had a nice.
Thank you. You probably don't remember me, but I was at Davis. Oh, I remember you from Davis thing, yes.
That's my 646. 646.
I'll be back. So we are planning some other
02.
working on another
I think you probably know Indra.
Oh, yeah.
Yes. But in any case, I brought this for you. Where is it now?
The women that I'm working with,
next year we want to bring right head.
Very much.
Good event.
And you know, this means
And if anything, my office can,
seeing the
reach out to me.
light
Yes.
as your sector,
Yes.
so that you can make the best decisions. I won't even say good, but I will say the best decisions.
Best decision.
Yes. So that
Online.
your term in office
Oh, okay.
will be memorable by the entire community.
Thank you very much.
Let me give you more.
335.
This is to remind you of your original state of soul consciousness.
Press 0.
Consciousness patience.
But I tell you,
Patience.
I learned something. Right, patience is
The honor
something
is
that's very
150
important for us.
One of the most
And they have this fire in their belly, you know, they've got
I never
to prove it not just to
I know.
themselves, to the family. Say, look, this is
And one
what I
day
could have
asked me
achieved.
to watch
So you've got to know.
Thank you very much.
And this is a gift on behalf
Oh,
of
so
Good times.
just very much.
behalf of all of us. Hope you enjoyed reading that.
Definitely will. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll get to see you soon.
Yes, of course. Through Guruji, through our Yoga Day committee.
You're on WhatsApp, right? Let me
I'm on
know.
WhatsApp.
You know, now we have World Yoga celebrated in New York State.
Yes,
So we're gonna push it.
yes. And I do have your card, so we will be in touch.
Make sure.
Issues are the same.
And, we gotta get together with you. It's been a while, God
It's been a
bless.
while. All right.
Yeah, but I wanna make sure we get together and do some joint projects.
Sure, we should. And even down in New York also. It should be very good. Thank you.
Gotta
Thank you.
take a
outside of
picture.
Father side
our
is from
countries.
Hoshiarpur, Gardiwala, that's between the Suva and
We're
Hoshiarpur.
trying to help, you know, people on the
My
world.
mom
We
side
can't
is
just say we're gonna feed our
Sra, there's a small
We
village
get about
between the Suva and Hoshiarpur.
maybe 50,000 pounds.
So there's a
On
nice park in
Mondays,
the
we get
shop
another
now
maybe
in
30 on
park.
Wednesdays.
So
So we
we
always
just
make sure we
near
send
that.
Yes.
And then just outside the shop there's Malpur.
Nader
Yeah,
has made it to where we have that facility where
Basically
people
born and brought up
come
in Bombay, but
anytime they can call us in the night, in the morning, weekends, they come right in, they get food, no questions asked, no IDs,
So,
nothing. Tell us
one
how
with
much
you.
we need
So
to
with
feed,
us,
and that's
they
all
all
we
get
have.
you.
Yes,
In my camera.
Okay.
Do me a favor, just take one here.
Yeah, thank you.
We're going to.
The mindset didn't change. No, it still hasn't changed. So it's up to this generation how we
Thank you everyone online watching this wonderful celebration. I appreciate your presence and blessing us through online. I want to say thank you to our assemblyman, Honorable Nader Sayegh, our speakers, Audrey Kitagawa, and Kiran Bali, Sabdaji, and my friend Hari Singh, especially our elected official and assistant, all other community leaders and the office staff from Assembly District number 90. Thank you everyone. I am Guru Dilip Ji from World Yoga Community. Thank you everyone. See you soon.